I remember when Eska and Spirits actually teamed with Raffi back on Team Nobu. Actually, wow, Carter, can you believe my casting career started when I casted Team Nobu and Louise, Eska, and Raffi followed me on Twitter?
Can you believe that I started casting after they disbanded?
Yeah, sucks to suck.
Yeah, my bad.
I think they were my first 3 like comp followers. I remember there was a player called named Matroska. I remember Matroska. Rip Matroska. I think he's still around. He lurks on Twitter. First ban is going to be Thatcher. Now, I'm very thankful that Okami banned Thatcher because last time they played Clubhouse with Thatcher up, as the desk said, they got 7-0'd. Wasn't a great showing. They didn't know how to work with it. Buck ban is interesting, though. I wonder... Banning the Buck might force the Sledge over Flores.
But even then, if we're talking about players on the side of Okami, Exile, at least in the Exile in the amateur scene, a storied sledge player, extremely good, and one of the big reasons that he was picked up was because of his prowess on sledge. Of course, final 2 bans, we have the Wamai and the Valkyrie, pretty standard for Clubhouse, all things considered. But that Buck ban, again, like you, that is something that I don't entirely know right off the bat. It's like, oh, well, that's why. Not a lot of prominent Buck players on Okami. Not a very prominent operator on this map. And yet, Parabellum were like, that's the operator we want to ban.
Yeah. I feel like, again, it's because like what we saw from SH. Cafe, despite being a very vertical heavy map, they took the Flores so they could take the Buck. So maybe Parabellum are like, hey, Clubhouse, also pretty vert heavy. What if we ban the Buck so that they can run Flores?
Here's the thing, though, right? You ban the Buck, and you might restrict them in that capacity, but you've also left every single hard breacher alive on Clubhouse, especially Hibana.
All of them are up, and we'll probably see Hibana Mav every single round. Also, Keegan Penguin Smith is on Ash.
I'll be honest with you. I heard Connor on the desk say, "Oh yeah,
excited.
Penguin's second entry." I literally thought, I was like, "Oh, I think he meant to say Spirits."
Yeah, because Spirits is Zoph, and because when they were talking with normal maps, Spirits is Iana, and Penguin is Zoph. On this map, though, the way Penguin plays the Ash, if you guys all remember when Euphoria first came back to the squad, they played Ash as almost like a flank watch. I imagine that's how Penguin's going to be playing it. Maybe, getting that initial entry, but not being the main site pusher when it comes down to it. That's probably going to be more on Spirits and Eska.
I don't know. I will say, at Invite, Penguin was flying in some windows.
That's true.
He was sending it quite a few times. As Mav
and Smoke. So, I mean,
he was flying in and out of windows.
Maybe we'll see that. I'm just saying what Penguin's told me. Also, talked to Penguin and Exile last night, actually, in the same voice channel, because we all hang out in the same Discord. Penguin said he doesn't expect to lose more than 3 rounds. So, Keegan, I'm holding you to that. I'm holding you to that.
Now we have
we'll see how they do.
Who will lose their job if they get their predictions wrong.
Exactly. Okami also bit of an interesting pick. So they've got Mira. Mira's left up. Prompted has Exile is on Alibi instead of Smoke. So not really bringing it for the shield, I guess, or maybe wanting a more versatile weapon than the SMG-11. I don't know, but either way, he and Raffi are actually holding down downstairs. Interestingly enough, probably making sure that those Mira windows can't be cleared from below.
It is that mirror window that the attackers from Parabellum will meet head-on as the first point of contention on the attack. That mirror window inside of logistics, we saw Wav on the mute playing just behind it. There's also a person playing inside of construction. Wav rotates off, and it's now Subarctic sitting inside there, being that player the farthest up. It is the mirror to die. Getting aggro prompted was on that bedroom window. It's Spirits to take him down and gain the first kill for Parabellum and Okami in this round so far. That's the only progress they've made. They've managed to land construction, but everyone from the defense is still firmly in their positions, especially behind this mirror window. And now you've blown up Kool-Aid, your Maverick, the man with the diffuser, and single-handedly, Wav has evened it 4-4.
That's a good pick from Wav. Good game sense to know he was on the drone right behind the doorway. Utility being sent in by Spirits, and Sonar is going to try and clear this mirror window along with Penguin. Wav gets one kill, but there's the quick refrag from Penguin as Spirits finds another one inside the site. Exile goes down. Reclaiming the man advantage, Parabellum lead into 3 versus 2, and Subarctic is only 1 HP, but Raffi, hiding behind the weight rack, finds a man on the window. It's just Penguin and Sonar both coming from the same direction over towards Khan. Sonar tries to make his stake inside of Logi, pushing into Gold Vault. Subarctic is tucked in the bathroom with Raffi, holding down short. Here's the swing from Penguin. They'll both deal damage to each other. The flash will blind the Jaeger, but Subarctic comes around at the perfect time and finds both the last attackers. Incredible play so far from Okami, though it was close. They narrowly win out that 2v2.
And great play by both Raffi and Subarctic. One just outside a bathroom, the other inside a bathroom. Raffi missed the shots, and he was full blind, and that looked like it might be said and done. At least for Raffi, but in the round as well. But excellent communication. Subarctic to peek out, catch the attackers off guard at the right time, and deal the fatal blows, or the fatal 2 blows, I suppose. But overall, that was a solid defense from Okami. Wav playing behind that mirror window. Sure, he got taken out right there by Penguin, but not only did he take 2 people, used his C4, and wasted so much time playing that mirror window. In a position where, honestly, you'd expect it to get taken down pretty quickly. The logistics hatch is right there. The moment those ADSs are burned, as Wamai's banned, that's the only thing protecting it. You'd think he'd quickly rotate off, but he rotated off, rotated back, and that's when he got those 2 kills. That seemed to be it for Parabellum. They quickly dealt with him, and they started moving on in, but it was just enough time where maybe they didn't have enough intel on Subarctic, and he struck the moment they least expected it.
That's only 1 round. And it is a defense. Defense is, actually, I don't know. How would you say the bands line up?
5 seconds to go.
How would I say the bands
actually
line up?
a little bit attacker-sided.
That's what I was gonna say. No hard reach ban on club. Losing the Valk, losing the Valk and the Wamai.
Yeah.
You'd especially expect the Valk, but the Wamai as well. I imagine you practice things without it. And losing the Buck, I don't know how much that'll hurt Okami. We'll have to see. I might be trolling. And a Thatcher as well. I think that's definitely attacker-sided for the bands.
Yeah. See if Parabellum are able to take their downstairs defense. It looks like they know where Wav is. Eska pre-fires forward, and Wav is still just holding on the staircase. He knows that his head is not exposed to this sledge, at least not yet. Eska being very tentative about this. I mean, if he sends a nade down, he could find the Jaeger. If he just hops into the window, he might catch Wav off guard. But for now, he's just holding the Jaeger's peak, making sure that Wav can't get too aggressive. He'll hop on the drone once again. If you double check that Wav is there, he jumps the drone and he sees the Jaeger. And Wav actually misses the drone and just falls back. Okay, he's able to find it afterwards. Eska double checking that he's not there, but I mean, Wav just wasted a minute. And a drone sitting in secret, and he's still able to get back to Gen. And is Raffi playing bottom main?
Oh, yes, he is. Ooh, almost just lost his head there. That was a little bit close, but he rotates off. Raffi's playing bottom main. He's now rotated down. Now everyone on the defense is really rotated downstairs, and none all too far off the site. That means Parabellum, they're able to get these hatches quickly. Kool-Aid working on that blue hatch, and if Wav is still down there, he might find himself at the receiving end of a nade explosion momentarily, as with all these hard reaching up, Parabellum have made quick work of most of what you need, and Eska's almost made quick work of as well, but narrowly escapes with his life from the C4 of Subarctic. There's still one in the hands of Raffi. He's holding it right now. He sends it up. Might blow it up. In fact, I think it got wasted. Neither way, didn't do that much for the attack overall or damage anybody on the attack. And it's Parabellum. They got that map control, but they're losing Eska. But overall, in a prime position to move forward.
Got a man on blue. Penguin coming down bottom main, breaking the barb and making sure long is clear. Again, kitchen hatch open. Eska doing work and making sure back arsenal is not being played by the defenders. So far, Parabellum are just holding. They're waiting for some sign of life from Okami, some sort of opening that will give them the advantage they need to start to push in. Prompted is still holding onto dirt as well. Exile's got the angle through the hatch, and down goes Eska. What little was left of that sledge is now gone. Exile gets another one onto Spirits, covering his player in blue. Kool-Aid will finally get one refrag onto the Maestro himself, but the damage is already done. Kool-Aid gets one before he's refragged by Subarctic. Penguin trying to push through long will find the head of the Malusi, but can't land the shots. He runs out of ammo and he tries to escape. He's shot in the back by Wav as Wav finds both the remaining players from Parabellum. It's 2 defenses in a row from Okami.
And 4 of those kills came down to two defenders playing their positions perfectly. Exile peeking up, landing the pre-fire on the kitchen hatch. That is a risky gunfight, but thanks to the change made to box 2, he's able to play behind it. He's not found by the hatch, and that pre-fire successful. He also lands 1 kill, but then Wav gets 2 playing inside of blue since he was never dealt with. Bit of an unfortunate engagement for Penguin, whiffing a lot of those shots onto Subarctic. Still managed to come away with it, and it was Wav to take him down, so neither Subarctic nor Penguin killing each other in that fight. But it looked like a solid attack from Parabellum. With those hard breachers and Maverick and Hibana both still on the board, didn't waste much time. The sledge as well, not wasting much time, but it came down to that execute, and Wav and Exile expertly repelling Parabellum, and a lot of that came down to those two players popping off and winning the gunfights they took.
I just thought Spirits was going to be able to take blue, but Exile had his back. Exile had one back.
And Prompted hit the pocket reinforcement.
That was Raffi.
Oh, that was Raffi?
That was a Raffi
Raffi
move.
hit the pocket reinforcement. Of course, that's
did.
a Raffi play.
Speaking of Raffi,
Raffi in the comms, like, guys, I got the reinforcement.
Speaking of Raffi, you think he ever, because he's friends with all the Frenchies, you think he ever calls Spirits? You think he ever puts emphasis on the SP? He goes like Spirits.
I hate you.
Some people in chat will get that.
And I did. That I guess I did a no you're not blank you're blank joke earlier, so I had
I
it
can't
coming.
believe you did. Pretty soon I'm gonna start going.
You just did a joke, so as far as I'm concerned,
we're even.
we're even, yeah.
Yeah, we're even. But pretty soon I'm gonna start going.
All right. That wall's not even though. That Maverick trick is not even.
Oh, I forgot you can do that now.
You can do that. I forgot about that as well.
I don't know why UB decided to change that, but
But they
you
did.
can do that now.
And let's hope Kool-Aid's not against the wall. No, he's not. He made it away.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that to work anyway, because that's kind of like any Mav with their salt is going to immediately back off from the wall, whether there's a C4 there or not. But hey, he opened the wall for him. How kind.
No attack utility wasted. Don't have to use an Ash Charge or a Zofia Lifeline or a Sledge. Just use that C4. But Okami, beyond that, nothing too much has been dealt with just yet. You've opened plat wall, but you expect to do that in the first minute. It's more of an inevitability on the defense to expect that to happen. Now it's on Parabellum to decide what they want to do. Have some people rotating over to construction. That's sonar with those Hibana pellets to open up con wall. And Eska and Penguin both making their way from the west to east side, one from Jacuzzi, the other from Main. And now the Kool-Aid's joining them. 4 members of the attack have all made their way to this position, but what a key play by Subarctic. Able to Cade trick those Hibana pellets, and now they'll have to dedicate some utility to taking it down. Eska has frag grenades, and so does Kool-Aid. 2 players perfect to play this and try and take down the Cade charge, but it will waste some oh-so-precious time for Parabellum.
Raffi will also get the first pick of the round onto Penguin. Down goes your Ash, and the man advantage goes the way of Okami with 1 minute left. The Electro Claw has been dispatched of, so Sonar can start to open this wall up, but oh, there's a jammer there as well. That Electro Claw was just there to aid it and actually destroy those Hibana pellets. Prompted is impact tricking as well, so some of those Hibana pellets will get destroyed, but it's not too much of a worry. He's still got 8 left in his pocket. That's more than enough to open the whole wall. Prompted will get naded, I believe, by Eska or Kool-Aid. I'm not quite sure which one it was. But oh, on the cage repel, Subarctic will be down. Spirits, though, he just pushes in. He'll be able to find 2. A double kill for Spirits, and here's the swinging from Kool-Aid. Finishing the downed player. Raffi gets one of his own before he's traded by Kool-Aid. 2 downed players on the attack means that Subarctic is in a 1 versus 2 with Kool-Aid in the plant down. But do they know he's in Raptors? Kool-Aid's going to get off the plant. Can he win the fight? He's not going to get killed on the retreat. He's planting behind the server rackets up to Sonar to cover on just 1 point of HP. 5 seconds left. Can he design this plant? Subarctic actually finds Sonar, but the plant goes down, and Kool-Aid's finished off. Does Subarctic know that Spirits and Eska are down, though? They're tucked in the site. Eska outside. Subarctic knows that, and he's just going to go for the defuse. He doesn't hear anyone coming because Spirits is down, and the round goes the way of Okami. What a clutch from the Cade.
And in all reality, sealing the 3rd round in the favor of Okami seemed to be where that round was heading up until the execute. You had Eska downed outside, but then that play right there, Spirits sending it up red, landing those 2 kills, Kool-Aid with 2 as well. Parabellum took their fights and they won it. They surprised Okami with how late and how quickly they pushed, and Okami seemed not able to fight back. That down on the Eska, down on the Spirits. Neither finished off. Sonar on 1 HP. Subarctic just catches a glimmer of the Hibana's head. And even though he whiffed the fight onto Kool-Aid, since the coverage was on 1 HP, that goes down. And that's an easy pre-fire for Subarctic that lands right square between the eyes of Kool-Aid's head. Okami, the end of Flawless Cycle. All 3 games today have ended with the defense getting 3 rounds in a row. Of course, the first game, it went their way. The second game, it went their way. If the trend continues, we'll all be wrong in the predictions once again.
Man.
That'd be
Not
funny,
bad.
though.
It would be funny if, like, 4 of us go
Also-
0% today.
Also, if Okami get 1 more round, Keegan is wrong.
That's true. If Parabellum take the next 7 in a row, he's safe. But if Okami win 1 more, that means Penguin is dropped and Connor is fired.
And I'll replace Penguin.
Yeah. Yeah. Will you?
You know. Eyes.
They'll bring
eyes
CZ in. You gotta have another Frenchie in there. It's his time. CZ or Milano. One of those 2.
Maybe.
Maybe Exum. Exum's French. Anyway. Enough about Québécois. It's Jim again. This round was probably the closest, with the exception of the previous, that Parabellum were to winning. Hopefully they're able to replicate that success and just, eke out the end of that round. So very aggressively on this Jim wall, I believe, tagging Spirits up just a little bit. Spirits now down to half HP. But, Parabellum have opened that cash wall. Now, of course, they still have to deal with this shield and con and the mirror windows that they struggled to clear.
It was at that bedroom window where Spirits found the opening pick last time. It was on the prompt, and it's Subarctic playing aggro here, and as you said, it was also that mirror window that proved the most troublesome for Parabellum on their attack. Despite that hatch being soft, because of course it is, it's on the roof, WAV survived it for quite a long time and got 2 kills in the process. Some intel down below, Exile playing right below. I don't actually know what that was for, but hey, he'll make some holes nonetheless. Alert Exile to his presence. And Parabellum are not moving. They are taking this extremely slowly. They're hitting all the same beats as prior. Spirits outside bedroom window, Kool-Aid in construction, heal tag, WAV down to 50 HP, and the C4 goes wide as opposed to dealing with the Maverick as opposed to last time. But Parabellum are not making nearly as much ground as they had last time, because we're hitting a minute. It's still a 5v5, but they haven't made much progress.
Yeah, it's kind of like at least they're able to clear this mirror window and there's no kill on the Kool-Aid. But they don't have that opener. WAV is going to be able to get away and stay behind the Logi desk, but downstairs. Subarctic kills Penguin from below. A smart play from the Malusi to catch him off guard. And while Eska actually gets downed by WAV and finished off by the shotgun through the hatch, that's a fight you gotta win, Eska. And Subarctic takes out Sonar. It's just Kool-Aid and Spirits in a 2 versus 5. Only 30 seconds left. 1 on the doorway, 1 on the windows. The mirror window's still up, so Kool-Aid has to be wary of it. And Okami are holding firm. In comes Kool-Aid. He gets 1 pick. They know the Jaeger's tucked behind this doorway, and Spirits is waiting for his rotate. But as his teammate is taken out, he's got to get aggressive. He'll find Raffi, but he's got 3 more. And the C4 will do him in. Subarctic from below making moves, and Okami with 4 rounds in a row.
We said after round number 1 that with the way the ban phase went, the attackers seemed to be on the advantageous side, and if you can count, that is clearly not the case whatsoever. Parabellum, 0 rounds compared to the 4 from Okami. They've now completed beyond a perfect site rotation. They've perfected Jim. They can't go to it again, but they've won it twice, nonetheless. They moved down to basement. This was another round that came down to it. And on the push-in, Parabellum lost their gunfights. And that's one thing I will say. Parabellum have, at the very least, they've managed to do well in the early to mid-round. They get in positions where they can start their execute. So it's not like they're getting shut down at the door like OCG were last time. But for 4 rounds in a row, Parabellum have made it that far, and 4 rounds in a row, Okami have shut the doors to the site in their face. So they'll take the time out, they'll go over things, they'll figure out what's going on, and when Wichita Wolves took a timeout on map number 1, they got the round after. So maybe we'll see a similar situation with Parabellum here.
Maybe. Parabellum
Maybe.
need to figure out what's going wrong. Their entry, so far, it's been okay.
Had some success, had some
Yeah.
failure.
It's mainly that mid-round execute phase. Seems like with the mid-round, there's just not a lot of progress. And then when we get down to the execute phase, Okami are still stuck in their anchor positions. Oh my god, they're doing it. Okay. All right. Rafi's Cav. All right.
Oh, no.
Michael, Exile was telling me about this. Exile was telling me about this. Okay, so this is the plan for Okami. They take Vigil and Mute. They set up a roam, obviously. According to Exile,
According to the theory,
Parabellum do the same thing every round when it comes to this attack. And I believe Eska.
10 seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds left.
on Cav,
On Cav, hides in
Attackers are
strip.
moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
And Okami know where that cutoff is. It's the B1 cutoff that we just saw highlighted. No one's on that drone right now, I don't believe. So Rafi rats in strip. And if he catches that solo player, that's a free interrogation. You can see it's not going to be Eska. It's going to be Penguin. He's on that drone. I don't believe anyone's supporting it. No one on the attack on the camera. Eska is, I believe, but actually, are they aware of this? Penguin's watching the doorway. I think they know. They've spotted Rafi.
Oh, they know.
Penguin is just going to be prone. Sonar's coming in from the back as well. They're going to try and pinch this Cav. The additional drone comes in as well, and Sonar will spot him. Rafi should be done and dusted by the time he walks through this doorway. Keegan's going to miss a shot, but Rafi will finally get taken down. The Cav play, unfortunately, unsuccessful.
Parabellum showing that prowess right there. Okami likely thought they were one step ahead, but Parabellum were 5 steps ahead, and Okami didn't even know it. And now you've lost a player early on. Sure, not that much in terms of utility, but you banked a lot on that Cav. You sacrificed a lot of utility to try and catch off one of the players of Parabellum, and he got pinched out with little to no cost on the side of the attack. Now, of course, there's still a fair bit of tiers to Okami's defense. You have WAV and Exile upstairs. That will still likely have to be cleared out by Parabellum, and you'll have to dedicate time to that. Spirits is on the cutoff, but WAV narrowly manages to rotate away. I say narrowly. He actually didn't take a single scintilla of HP there, so still going the way of Okami.
What did you say? All right. Spirits is going to walk in, and Prompted is on the stairs, ready and waiting for him. 4v4, so, I mean, you've even the man count. Honestly, losing a Cav for a Zoph, I say that's pretty worth it. Although, Eska's going to refrag, and Subarctic can't find the answer. At least not yet. So the defenders will lose yet another piece, but it's Vigil. So, again,
you're not losing much.
Not the biggest pick in the world. Exile is actually still upstairs, and oh no, the attackers don't know this. He can peek the Moto hatch, he's gonna flank main, and he'll find Sonar dropping the Hibana, and he's got this upstairs control, but as Subarctic goes down, and the site is forfeit, Exile is now stuck in a retake. He's gonna have to flank through the hatch, drop Moto, that's gonna be a loud sound cue. As he drops through the smoke, he's gonna cough in some of that gas. C4 goes out, not gonna find any players, he's on just 1 HP, and this is looking like in the post plant, Parabellum will take their first attack.
There you go, Keegan, Penguin, last name, seals it out! And gets the first round. I know, but it's funnier the other way. Gets their first round. 4-1. Still in a deficit. Okami still in the lead. But Parabellum have at least got one on the board, and they don't have to say they got 7-1 or 7-0'd by Okami. But Okami still look like the stronger team overall. And a lot of that, I would say a lot of it, but starting off with that play by Rafi inside a strip, it was a gamble, and a gamble that didn't pay off and likely hurt them in the long run. Sure, they still had that roam. But once WAV was dealt with, you didn't lose a lot in utility, but all you have is Exile, and now Parabellum don't have nearly as much to worry about on the roam moving down forward. They're able to capitalize off that momentum, move on through. The gunfights go their way this time, and then Exile is like his namesake. He's exiled alone on the first floor. And you've retaken up top, that's awesome, but it doesn't do a whole lot if there's still plenty of time for Parabellum to go for the plant, and none of the top control you have is in a position to counter it. So still good play by Exile overall. Smart move. But that was about one of the only good things going the way of Okami that round. Also,
feel like,
scintilla means small quantity of feeling.
Oh, you said scintilla. No, I know what scintilla means. I didn't hear that.
Oh. I was about to say, I'm
like-
like, surely you know what that means.
No, it sounded like I had no idea what you said.
5 seconds to insertion.
I probably just misheard.
Attackers must locate and defuse a
Anyway.
bomb.
Penguins on Capitao. No more Ash. He's like, 4-4. Damn. Not good enough. I'll switch.
Bring the
Also,
utility.
Sonar's 0-5, which is unfortunate.
He's on.
Also, Subarctic is 8-1.
He's doing it.
That was the first round he died.
Here's what I'll say to Sonar. He's at least doing his job in terms of utility, though. He's not dying super early.
Wait. I don't think
Hey.
Sub got a kill that round. Was he 8-0 before that? Well, wait, let me check on the VOD. He was. Holy crap. Anyway, Raffi's dead. That's Sonar's first kill. Good job, Sonar.
No longer 0-2. Just like Subarctic is no longer 8-0 after that last round. Sonar going to be
8-1,
feeling
still-
good for that one. Yeah, I mean,
In fact, now
that's true.
actually now Subarctic has an 8.0 KD instead of an undefined one. So if anything, it's better.
It's a marginal improvement for the stats. But again, as
That
I
was a
mentioned
math
earlier, Sonar was still dying after he got a lot of his utility down. So while you
That is
want
true.
to see him step up, he's still doing the job he's meant to do, which is opening up these walls. But it was the con wall that proved so elusive for Parabellum on their attack. It got impact tricked. It got Cade tricked. And there was a mute device behind it as well. It was hell in a cell in terms of utility for Parabellum. And while they've got the opening pick, what are they doing in terms of that utility? They'll do a little bit less now that Subarctic's out the game. That's for sure.
That's unfortunate. Not only
He won't
is
die,
it now a man deficit, that's true. Not only is it now a man deficit, but that was your top performer. Wab is just repeatedly healing himself in the fire. I mean, that's not going to work. But oh, here's Prompted. A big 2 kills in Garage to try and bring things back. Can he find a third? Looking over the bikes, he's going to get damaged by both the gun and the nade. Do a little bit more to Penguin. And oh my god! What a shot! Good night, Kool-Aid. Jameson hits the dirt. And it's Exile in a 1 versus 2. He's spotted by a drone as the players start to funnel in bottom Garage.
Oh my
Tabbed up,
God.
but oh my god, what a shot from Exile! Down goes the window player of Spirits, and he's watching the angle. He knows Penguin's in here, but Penguin's gonna win the fight anyway. He'll deny the clutch attempt, and off the back of a disconnect, Parabellum will take their second attack.
Still, what a hell of a good fight put up by Prompted and Exile. Two of, if not the 2 nastiest shots of Stage 2 we've seen so far. That followed by a great pre-fire. Outstanding work. Of course, not able to seal it out at the end. We will have a pause. The Subarctic is not disconnected. You caught me turning on the lights
Please,
once again.
Subarctic, join
gets
the
hot in
lobby,
my room.
so we don't need a rehost. I'm begging.
I mean, we already have had one. We literally had one before.
Exactly.
Well,
we
I
had
guess
our 1 rehost of the day.
the first game did start, so it wasn't before the game even started. But still, he's
Oh, he's back! Woo! No, rehost!
hands are in
Dude,
the
that's
air.
why Subarctic's one of my favorite. I love that guy.
He rejoined the game. He did the bare minimum.
He did.
That was
I'm very
not
happy.
that impressive. But overall, for the side of Okami, again, big question mark because one of your key players, the one who was 8-0 up until the last round, disconnected. So, a lot we could talk about, and the fact that it came as close as it did, of course, prompted, he got those 2 kills. Great work by him, impacting the wall. Clearly, Parabellum did not anticipate it, as I'm sure most people would not anticipate that. Then he fries Kool-Aid. You can't really blame Kool-Aid much for that one. He just didn't get a chance to shoot back.
Yeah, that was a little
And so-
unfortunate.
yeah, you can't blame him for much for that one. The prompted falls. You just have Exile. Brings it to a 1v1. With Subarctic, I mean, maybe Okami play things differently because when you lose a man, maybe they're just like, you know what? We're probably going to lose this. Let's just try it, take the fights. But hey, let's assume it goes the same way. They have Subarctic. That might be an Okami 5-1 half.
Honestly, I definitely think you're onto something with a 5-1 half
Attackers need
if
to
Sub was
locate
there.
and defuse as many bombs
But
as
he's
they
back.
can.
Also, Subarctic is not one of my favorites just because he rejoined the lobby. He's always been one of my favorites. I like Sub.
Yeah, Sub is a great player.
I remember the first time I saw Sub play on ZQWE in the USN, one of the USN qualifiers on stream. Back when that was a thing. And then ZQWE became Bruh. and Bruh became Beast Coast. And they went to
And
Pro
Beast
League.
Coast are in NAL.
They are indeed. Man, remember when Levron was on that team?
Levron was on that team?
Levron was on Bruh, yeah.
5 seconds left.
That might, well, you keep in mind, I came in kind of late to the game.
I think that was before CL like had its own channel. I think.
I started, I've been watching for a couple years now, but I truly started paying close attention to CL in like season 11. But like later half of
I'm not
season
gonna
11,
lie.
when
I
I
didn't really
went
start
in quarantine.
I didn't really start paying attention to CL until I started casting it.
For you, that's surprising.
I was watching too much Pro League to pay attention to another league. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, for context, by the way, Harrison treated Pro League like a Netflix TV show. Okay, oh no, they're not hot dropping. Okay, the way they played that for a second, I thought the site was basement, but no, there's
Dude, they were doing the fish drop.
No, that's Blue Hatch.
No, I know. I actually can't wait to see Fish play because I really want to see the fish drop. But anyway, Kool-Aid's on Ella. That's a little bit weird for the shield. There's also an alibi for an additional shield.
Okay.
And Sonar just shotgun Spirits in the head. Epic.
So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that wasn't intentional. Clearly, Sonar was trying to make some holes in the floor, and Spirits maybe getting a bit ahead of himself, or Sonar getting a little bit ahead of himself, shot him, and now he's dead. So, opening pick, technically going the way of Parabellum, despite the fact they killed their own player, but in actuality, going the way of Okami, since you lost the Jaeger.
Maybe Sonar can't see French people.
Oh,
wow!
All right, that's how you
just
read one.
got annihilated by a C4, and that is
Maverick.
that's Maverick.
Great pick.
That's not great for Okami. They still got Thermite though. Wav is on Thermite, interestingly enough, because normally he plays Flank Watch, but you don't bring a Nomad on Club. And he's going to be able to try and go ahead and open up Jacuzzi. There is a Mute Jammer behind it, though, so, you know, they actually have to take care of that first. All they need to do, though, is just send someone to the window. And there you go. Mute Jammer done and dusted. Penguin definitely looking to challenge this breach. In fact, he's going to late reinforce. Make sure that bathroom is more of a bunker that he can sit in now that he knows that both Thermite charges are done for and the Maverick is dead. But he unfortunately exposes himself to the window trying to rotate back into gold, and he's collapsed upon by Exile. It's a 4 versus 3, a one-man advantage for Okami leading to the last 40 seconds. Nade being sent in by Exile as well. Can it find Sonar? No. Sonar lives, and as does the shield. The Kool-Aid does take some damage over towards Logi. 30 seconds now, and Okami are starting to set up. Here's the utility coming in. The peek from Sonar unsuccessful as Eska finds one onto Raffi to even us back up. The nade will be successful, though, as Exile finds Sonar. That power position in the middle of the site with the shield now flushed out. Kool-Aid not successful either. It's a triple kill for Exile. It's Eska in a 1 versus 3. Exile the man planting, but Eska, he doesn't have any C4 left. He'll see one player sitting still, but Eska, that's not the planter. That was just bait. Subarctic doesn't even take a single shot, and now it's a post-plant situation. The attackers starting to retreat. One out the breach, one holding the crossfire. Here's Subarctic with the swing, and Okami with round number 7.
Exile going big there on that bedroom window. Saw Penguin hit the rotate. Thought he might have gotten away with it. Then Exile just manages to find him sitting inside a Logi at the rotate hole. Overall, great play by Exile on that master bedroom window, as well as on the push in through sight. And for Parabellum, they got the kill on the Maverick. That looks like one of, if not the biggest events that round at that 4v4. Because not a lot of time on the side, or for the side of Okami, still a minute left. That Jacuzzi wall is mute jammered. Could have used the Maverick to get that. Of course, they just rotated Exile bedroom window, or gym window. In fact, that's where a lot of his kills came from. But overall, it looked good. And then Okami kind of pulled the Parabellum in the rounds they won. They moved in, they actually managed to win their gunfights, and they sealed it out. So for Parabellum, the setup wasn't that terrible overall. It just once again came to that mid to late round where Okami were just on it a little bit more.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't listening. No, I'm kidding. I just wanted to see how upset you'd get. Yeah, Okami are looking really solid. I kind of figured they were gonna be a pretty solid team heading into this season, but this is way better than I thought. I mean, they are taking a top half invite team that beat NIP, the champions, on this map. I have to remind everyone, not only did they beat NIP in a best of one at Invite, but it was on Clubhouse.
Well, okay. Do
Wait,
keep this in
which
mind,
way?
though.
This way.
Do keep this in mind, Harrison. Wasn't this the
Clubhouse.
map that Liquid also 7-0'd PB on that knocked them out of the tournament?
That's also true. They also got 7-0'd by Liquid.
All I'm saying. Not a.
But
maybe
this is also the
not as
map
strong
that
as we thought.
Okami got themselves 7-0'd on.
Oh, wait, no, this is also the map that NIP lost to S. I'm just kidding.
Did you know this is actually the map that NIP lost to Okami on?
Yeah?
No.
Attackers need
And did
to
you know
defuse as many bombs as they can.
that Okami are just Liquid on alt accounts?
Did you know?
They're coming back
Okami?
to seal Parabellum's fate once again?
Did you know Okami means wolf in Japanese?
I actually did know that. Because the game Okami.
Oh, I forgot about that game.
Never played it. But I do know, because of that game, that Okami means wolf.
I know that because of, I don't know, there was this anime I watched.
We now have 2 wolf-themed teams in CL.
We
5
do!
seconds to go.
When did they merge and become the Wichita Okami?
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Don't you think, you know,
Bomb diffuser has been dropped.
the culture
Attackers
of
recovered the bomb.
Kansas City,
Wichita,
Missouri.
Kansas.
Yeah, which I don't know why I said Kansas City, Missouri. That's the Pioneers. The culture of Wichita, Kansas melds right in with Japan.
We do also have 2 Kansas.
There's plenty of parallels.
Kansas teams in CO. The Kansas City's in Missouri.
That'd be really funny.
I feel like Charlie from Always Sunny right now. Like I'm like, there's so many
Drawing the red
threads.
lines.
Yeah, there's so many threads going around.
Did you know that last season, last stage, when Connor got the highest prediction percentage, it's because he wrote the scripts and didn't tell us.
He did?
He did.
That rat.
You know how I found out?
You stole them? Did you national treasure it?
I'm Connor.
Oh. I'm losing my mind. I'm going back to the game. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So it's a basement site, as I'm sure you can tell. And nothing all that much has happened in the first minute. We've seen some rotations by the defense. We see the alibi, the Penguin alibi shield.
The shield.
Yeah, the solitary Penguin alibi shield sitting down inside of Lounge. Of course, Penguin is now rotated up. Both him and Sonar are sitting there right now, alongside Spirits on the mute. Yes, a pump shotgun. But as Exile moves into CCTV and Cash, he'll be one of the prime players to take out any number of the 3 sitting on top floor. This is, of course, a bit of a risk. If Okami read into this, there's only 2 members on the site. One of them is the Pulse, and they might have the intel, but it's still only 2 players on the site. They have to start thinking about what they want to do. But if Parabellum are just able to continue sitting on this top floor, and Okami are just stunted completely, no, that was Penguin getting the kill.
Yeah, I
But
thought Spirits got that.
Penguin or Spirits, it's nobody picked for PB.
That's true. Subarctic. Now dead. That's a big pick. That's your Iana, as well as one of your top performers. A C4 goes out from Spirits as well. It finds Prompted. As Prompted, we'll, I guess, get the posthumous nade kill onto Spirits, a little bit of a revenge. 1 for 1 there. Exile now picking up the diffuser, trying to move in through the building. There's no one for him to hunt. There's no one for him to find. It's 3 versus 4. All the defenders now retreated back down to the site, but there's still Eska on the pulse with a C4, watching and waiting, calling out the info for his team. He knows they're going Moto Hatch, maybe even spotted Raffi going out the main window. Moto Hatch now being opened by the Thermite of WAV. Only 28 seconds left for Okami to try and make this push. They don't have a lot of avenues to do it from. Looks like Exile and WAV will try and make their stake down the main hallway. Smoke Grade comes and it deals a lot of damage to Exile, but he's able to at least make it over by Church. The pre-fire from Sonar, not going to find its mark. Kool-Aid playing close with the shotgun. Should be able to find any easy kills should these players push up towards long, but it's actually through the ash wall that one of these attackers will go, but that player gets taken out by that shotgun. Penguin with 1 before WAV refrags, and there's just no time for WAV to do anything. Parabellum will take their round, and they have 3 points on the board now.
In a stark contrast to the rounds prior, that round was not won in the late on the execute. That round was won early on. A little bit in the mid if you want to count it, but it was won by that roam because 3 people on the top floor, and Okami stood at their doorstep for such a long time. Exile, sitting on red, felt like ages he sat there. Okami, it felt like ages in general about trying to come up with a plan to deal with that roam. They cleared out Penguin from that alibi shield on the second floor, and instead of rotating back, Parabellum rotated up. And Okami never decided to go for the adjustment to try and execute and hit the site. Of course, it would be difficult. You have Eska on the pulse. Not saying it'd be an easy feat whatsoever. Ella shotgun as well. It's a daunting task. But that round was won by that roam by Parabellum that Okami wanted to clear, but their path to it seemed very uncertain.
This is a cool roam. It's like the SSG roam, but reversed.
10 seconds
But
left.
down.
Yeah. It's like, it's the
5 seconds to go.
Mauer GSS.
Attackers must locate and defuse the
That'd be
bomb.
Get it?
backwards.
That's, well, yeah. Up is the opposite of down.
Oh, hear me out. If... Nah,
like a clock.
never mind. I was going to say, if the roam is in the same position, would you flip it? But technically the roam, while it's on the same floor, at least in relation to the site, is in a different spot.
So it is perfectly mirrored. It is a reflection.
In fact,
If we want to put it in graph translation terms.
me reconsidering the right answer would have been completely wrong.
Indeed.
By the way, for right now, still have Eska down below. He's actually rotated to the basement, aiding Penguin inside a bar, giving this intel. Of course, Okami able to drone him out. Eska's in a little bit of a precarious position. He'll even waste his C4, but even still down Raffi. The C4 is not able to finish him off, and Eska, in fact, is not able to finish off Raffi whatsoever. But it's Penguin from bar to peek all the way down inside and get the opening pick in favor of Parabellum.
Diffuser.
Raffi, big pick. Your main entry, who's unfortunately not doing great today. 2-8 as he's felled by Keegan Penguin Smith. And Zof being dead makes those castle barricades perhaps a little bit harder to clear, as Exile really can't be all that safe just walking up to it and sledging it. The two UMP users still holding down bar, though there is no C4 to join them. For now, Sonar, I believe, is still up above, so the attackers don't necessarily have to worry about that C4 presence
Bomb
just
located
yet,
by
but
attackers.
I'm sure that Sonar has a plan to drop or maybe even go down main stairs at one point or another. There's only about a minute 8 left as now Subarctic will finally get a refrag for his team onto Spirit. Sonar takes a bullet thanks to a pre-fire from the Metal Balk.
Attackers
Now a
drop
minute
the
10
diffuser.
remaining. I mean, we've evened up the man count. You still got to be wary of Eska below. It looks like Okami aren't really too concerned with dealing with it. Maybe because Eska's C4 is already gone, they're not too worried. As now the jacuzzi wall goes down, it gives the attackers that avenue.
Thermite charge also used by WAV. I don't know how successful
Or no,
it
was
was.
that
I think
Conwall?
I was about to
It
say, it might have been
sounded like
Conwall.
jacuzzi.
It's I'm not entirely sure where, but either way, it's
Oh, it was
second.
Con.
It was Con. It's Penguin's second kill as well as WAV on the Thermite. He has an exothermic. He'll push up nonetheless. Exile also finds a kill, tries to find the second on the entry, but he misses, and it results in the death of Prompted. It's now just Exile, the very player we saw who just got a kill, to find the next 3 if he wants to put Okami on match point. He'll make his way through the site. 25 seconds left. Diffuser not in his hand, and 1 to his right and left. It's going to be a tough fight. He wins the first, but not the second. It's a quad kill, I believe, by Penguin on that castle overall, and Parabellum will continue shortening the advantage gained by Okami early on, as it's 5-4.
The lead is slowly slipping away for Okami. Once leading, what was it? 5-2?
Yes, 5-2.
Now losing the next 2 rounds in a row. They will go up to cash. Or Parabellum will. Been very successful on their defense so far, with the exception of that one gym round. It seemed like the shakeup of the strat was enough to pull it away. Penguin, of course, not being dealt with. A huge factor in that round. Really good Logi hold as well from Parabellum as a whole.
The Logi holds today they've just been stellar on both sides.
Yeah, both Logi holds. With Mira from Okami and Parabellum just, I guess, running in with Castle and killing people.
That's another method of doing it, I suppose. Now I move to CC.
Oh, okay. They're just Swiss cheesing the wall.
What'd you think they were doing?
I wouldn't put it past Keegan to have a strat where they just leave it open. Also, he's Jaeger.
10 seconds
Also,
left
he's
before
12 and
insertion.
5. Wow.
Last round did a
He's
lot to
top
boost
ranked
his
alive.
5
stats.
seconds to go.
Yeah. Yeah. As we know,
Attackers
from
objective is to
Invite,
locate a
Penguin is a
bomb
stat
and
player.
defuse it.
I
He
lied. I'm not going to
that's
slander him like that.
That's not true.
Penguin
Anyway.
does not care about stats.
That is also true. You can also tell by the way he played an invite, sending it out windows. You mentioned that earlier. But anyway, you can see 4 players right now stacked outside of blue. Make that 3 as 1 is repelling up. In fact, 2 might be repelling up. And it's WAV watching Penguin's head. We saw, I believe it was Eska on the sledge watching this very same position.
Ooh.
But this time the Jaeger gives himself away. Whereas we saw Eska watching it last time, I believe it was Raffi or somebody on Okami never gave up their spot. Penguin peeks his head, WAV takes it off, and takes the opening pick for Okami.
That's a good pick. That frees up down below if Exile wants to maybe go below and with Subarctic and get some nade kills through the floor on default spots like behind green box, by the cache table, you know, etc. By the cache doorway where Kool-Aid is currently playing. Otherwise, there's no answer for Parabellum just yet. And that was their only player contesting Lounge. The next big point of contention is going to be Spirits in Rafters. Prompted starting to open up the default hole in this wall so you can watch that rotate through the window. Raffi with the long angle from Plat, and Prompted now opening up below. With no Wamai and just the Jaeger on the table, this is going to be a tough task for Spirits to hold down.
Nade flies up, both ADSs burned. He hears the here's the little ring come out of the grenade, and Raffi takes him down. Prompted follows up as well. This is looking like match point unless Sonar can clutch a 1v5. Only 1 toxic canister, a minute 20 seconds, and a nade at his feet, though it doesn't end his life. Takes down a lot of HP, and in this situation, you need all you can get. 35 health in a dream. He's watching that garage window, but there's one coming up red or in a prime position to Subarctic watching, spots the head and takes it off. A flawless round to send Okami to match point, and all of us might lose together once again in the predictions.
Today seems like a day for upsets, with the exception of game number 2. And I'm all for it. A lot of people were coming into this stage like, hey, Wichita Wolves won the last stage pretty handedly. Parabellum, they're a top half finisher at Invite. The only games that they might lose will probably be to each other. But it looks like they're both going to take a loss on day 1. And if Parabellum can't get OT here, that's going to be troublesome. With a group like this, with Group A being as stacked as it is,
you need everything.
You need every point you can muster. Even if it's a loss, you at least want that 1 in OT. And Okami right now, sure, they lost the last 2 rounds in a row, but that cash attack was fearsome. That was poetry in motion, the way they took that. The way they watched for Penguin, WAV killed him, that garage take, actually burning the ADSs with a nade. And then using the nade to flush out the Cade and having the cutoff from the breach. Beautiful. Subarctic still waiting and watching down below, flushing Sonar out of his spot as well as and finding the final kill. I mean, this has been incredible from Okami so far.
Well, keep in mind, Harrison, it was also a couple key early losses that cost PB their invite, or not their invite spot, they got that obviously, but their CL spot in the long run. It was an 8-6 loss to Ape and then an 8-6 loss to SH that ended up making in large part the difference between them in playoffs and them not in playoffs. Of course, they went to invites, they couldn't compete no matter what, but still, taking another early loss like this where you don't have invite to look forward to, and even a more dramatic one where at least with those they got those 2 points. This is critical, but also good for Okami, who are looking to make a comeback after their faltering in playoff last stage. Eska will falter early on. He's only on 35 HP, still alive, and good because this pulse has been a large part of Parabellum's defenses. Losing early on would be bad, but Sonar, what a great read on those floor holes on Plat Wall, taking the head off Exile.
That was a little bit of a misplay from Exile. Poor positioning. You just can't rappel up on that side of the wall. Not when the wall is already soft. I mean, maybe it wasn't called out from a teammate. Maybe he didn't know. Either way, huge misplay. And now they're going to need to use someone else's utility to try and open this. Actually, wait. Did the defense actually shotgun a line across the wall? That's going to give Sonar his second
my God,
kill
they
as
did.
Wav finds Eska. I don't know what the hell happened with that wall, but it'll give Parabellum 2 kills.
What?
And Raffi trying to hit it from the back is going to get demolished by Sonar, just hopping through the rotate. The smoke is on a heater right now. This is what we need to see from Sonar. And that'll put Okami on the back foot, 2 versus 4. Just Wav and Subarctic left. And bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is a church defense.
I have no idea, Harrison. That's just... Wav and Subarctic, 2 players that have their work cut out for them. And keep in mind, Okami on match point. They have 2 rounds to lose, but losing in that way, Parabellum, they are eager to try and bring this back, and they do not want to ride off overtime. Subarctic on main stairs. Sonar's moved inside a bar. Does Sub know that there's a smoke here? He's slowly peeking around. He might have an idea, but it's Spirits to take his head off from behind. He gives himself away to the other SAS operator, and now Wav's in the 1v4. One peeks around, not able to land the shots. Only on 35 HP, 35 seconds left. He might even write this round off, take attack time out of sorts as 3 members of Parabellum eagerly approach the blue stairs, hungry for the frag. He gets choked out and finished off by the SMG-11. It's the SA Ops, Mute and Smoke respectively to get 3 kills and 2, and to put Parabellum 1 round away from bringing us to overtime.
Huge play from Sonar. I mean, that was quite the round. So first of all, I actually forgot that it was a church defense.
I did as well.
Amongst the chaos. That was just a cash roam. That was the Parabellum cash roam. The wall gets soft. Now, oh, I shouldn't have said it like that. The wall gets tricked by the Mav. And Sonar's playing behind a shield, so he can see if anyone repels up. Exile, poor positioning, gets wall banged. And then I think the defense shotgunned a hole across the wall. And Sonar peeked out and got his second kill. And then Raffi, who's trying to hit it from the back.
Defenders,
As
protect your bomb
who is he?
from being
Zoe
defused by attackers.
Gets dumpstered by Sonar. That was a shot from Sonar. I did not expect him to win that.
The top 3 shots of stage 2 so far have all been on this map. We didn't see it, unfortunately, but I mean,
Hey, maybe we can. Oh, do you think we can like? Because it's just like the one shot that we can like post it on Twitter, like using the match replay.
I don't know, but that was beautiful.
That was incredible. And I mean that was a Roman smoke. Poison's smiling from T3 hell after seeing that. But
Seconds left before insertion.
I mean that was won by the Rome, by Sonar, just getting 3 kills in
Absolutely.
cash.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
Now we're moving to
And then the bait. They knew that Subarctic was in the kitchen hallway. Spirits up on main stairs. Sonar in bar. Sonar moves to bait Subarctic for the sound cue. And when Subarctic is like, oh, this guy in bar, and turns around, there's the swing from Spirits. That round as a whole, like, sure, Sonar was getting a ton of picks, but that was also just, as a whole, brilliantly coordinated by Parabellum.
Now the 1 round away from taking us to overtime. It is a gym bedroom defense. This is a site that went the way of Okami the first time, but went the way of Parabellum the second. So not at all the comfortable territory that I was going to say that PB could hope for, but Okami's on the attack. So actually, this is the comfortable territory PB would hope for. Albeit not as comfortable as basement, but hey, still a site you've won, as opposed to CC. Now they're moving up here. Minute in. Haven't seen much of anything so far. It's the traditional cache extension. A couple players playing on red and inside the site. As Prompted moves on in and Wav opens the wall. In the first minute, they'll be in a prime spot to deal with it.
Wav using 1 thermite charge on the garage wall to open up a long line of sight. You can kind of cut off Khan from there, but there's still plenty of Aruni gates and plenty of shields that the attackers have to deal with. In fact, another Aruni gate protecting Spirits' shield, and he's gonna go for 2! Both Prompted and Wav, both hard breachers dead before Okami can even clear cache. That is absolutely massive, and Spirits gets a 3rd on the Exile. Finally, his reign of terror is over thanks to Subarctic, but it's a 2 versus 4 for Raffi and Sub, the duo entry to try and claw themselves out of, and a minute 15 to do it with no hard breach.
That is a difficult proposition, to put it mildly. Do still have a minute left, but Spirits with that triple single-handedly performing on that cache extension. Wow. But again, Rafi and Sabartic have their work put out for them. Rafi not been having the best game, but Sub been playing out of his mind. So both sides of the coin, and if there's any moment for Rafi to step it up, it is now. Sub will clear out Logi, or at the very least with a nade, to clear out the immediate area. Thinking about moving on in. Rafi stayed his positioning on the main window, trying to bait out a kill in hope that someone gets over-aggressive. The Parabellum are a disciplined team. This is the team that made it in the top half of Invite. They beat world champions, both former and current at some point or another. They'll surely be disciplined in a 2v4 against Okami. Kool-Aid sitting on the master bedroom mattress, still waiting. Rafi finally makes the push in, almost lands the shots, but Kool-Aid swings, gets taken down by Subarctic as he takes a fair bit of damage from the smoke and bullets respectively. The Aruni peeks. He's dealt with by Subarctic. There's one on main who rotates down, a C4 in Penguin's pocket. He sends it on up. It misses Sub. Sonar goes down. Could we see an ace in the final 3 seconds? There's no C4 for Penguin to deal with. He has to rotate back up. He's slow, but the time might be on his side. The intel, yes, it is. We will go to overtime. A great effort by the Yana. A 4K for him. But Parabellum do not want this game to be over yet. They've managed to claw back from that 5-2 half that we saw round number 8.
What a fight from Subarctic. Nearly getting that ace clutch. It would have been a 1v4. That was close. Good on Penguin for falling back, but not falling back too far. Able to at least still be in range of that plant, despite being a 3 armor. Now this is where things get a little bit worrying if you're a fan of Okami. They're on attack. It has been 4-2 defensive half for both sides. Now granted, that was true for the Orgless Wichita Wolves game as well, when Wichita Wolves started defense and Orgless still took 2 rounds in a row. So hey, Okami, you know, there's still a chance. It is completely within the realm of possibility that Okami take this attacking round. But statistically, this is in Parabellum's favor, and it looks like they're going... Are they going for that cash roam again?
It looks like it.
Oh, they are. This is going to be tough for Okami to break.
Well,
okay. They do know about it, though.
That's what I was going to say. If they know about it, obviously you still have Esk on the pulse, who's giving intel, but if they hit quick enough and they're able to win a gunfight, they could make the rush work. If they go for it, of course. Well...
I don't think they're going for it.
No. There were 4 people over there, so I was like, hey, maybe.
Strip.
But they won't. I'm kind of sad.
Spawn strip.
I was about to say, but I am kind of sad. I kind of hope... I wanted to see a rush. It'd been a fun parallel. Orgless game. They started OT with the rush. They won it.
Yeah, I don't think Okami want to risk it.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I'm not going to critique him for it. Anyway. Subarctic moving on into strip. We saw Rafi try to counter this play, pushing in by himself, but imagine they've droned it out a bit thoroughly, and Parabellum aren't going to make the same gamble that Rafi did. Subarctic perfectly fine to drone himself in, gain the intel. In Exile, making his way inside of Logi. He was one of the people that was just outside of the defense, but he got stuck out of there, as did the rest of his team. Hopefully a minute in, this is a sign of a quicker take of this extension upstairs, because if it's not, it'll be a repetition of history and potentially a PB match point.
Nade will come in, it'll clear Sonar's shield, so he's no longer going to be protected on that cash door. Exile unprompted, trying to do their best to make quick work of this. About a defender still lingering up here, and he'll be the first death. And that's an important pick. That's your sledge gone. If you were going to go for that vert play, you're not able to anymore.
Oh.
And Spirits will find a second kill. This cash hold is just so deadly. Whether it be Sonar or Spirits, the SMG-11s pop off, a C4 goes out, and it will clean up. Rafi, no, Sonar gets the pick, but Spirits, what a beautiful shot on a sub. He's finally finished off by Wav, but it's going to have to be another ace clutch situation for Okami if they want to pull out the first round of OT.
Kool-Aid will fall, so Wav gets 1, but 50 HP done. That is not good in this situation. He has Diffuser, able to pick it back up, but only 50 seconds left, and remember, this is a basement defense. And Parabellum extended all the way up to the top floor. So WAV, the last remaining member on Okami, has to make his way all the way down. And he's making a hell of a lot of noise on top blue right now. Penguin will surely know that somebody's coming, and you can see the rest of the defense, shotgun holes in the wall. They are ready to deal with it. WAV finally makes his way to the bottom of the stairs, tries to land the pre-fire, but Penguin has his number and sends Parabellum to match point. And they might just manage to make the comeback happen if the next one goes their way.
This went from a 5-2 Okami advantage to now a 7-6 deficit. Okami have got to be kicking themselves for this one. They will go to Gym. Gym is a site that they have not lost. They're flawless on this site so far. 2-0. And they are going to need to be 3-0 if they want to take this to max OT and have any hope of winning this game. Looks like they're doing a very similar setup. Exact same operator lineup. They'll have the same Mira setup, I imagine, as well. One in con, one on, I believe it was bathroom for prompted. They've got the con shield as well. Full reinforcing off cache. They'll probably have Exile playing down below, duoing with Raffi to make sure those Mira windows aren't going to get cleared. My worry here is that Parabellum have seen and lost to this strat twice. Now, while that is, a testament to how good the strat is for Okami, it means that Parabellum know exactly what's going on. And I'm sure Penguin is saying in his head, fool me once, fool me twice, but, damn me if you fool me 3 times.
Attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
And both times, with the strat from Okami, we saw different elements. Obviously, all revolved around that Logi hold. Whereas the first round when Parabellum lost it, it was directly in that hold. Parabellum just got it countered by WAV playing on it. But the second time, the Logi hold was cleared out, but there were players down below, Subarctic in Kitchen being one of them, that were able to make Parabellum's life a hell from outside the room. Though you did also have WAV managing to find Eska despite the Mira getting cleared. So clearing this Logi hold could be an indication of this round's success. You also have a bit further of an extension inside of Garage. Penguin just got caught out prone on the floor breakdancing, and Sub runs straight into the Claymore. It wasn't even hidden. Penguin gets a kill from beyond the grave, and Sub, getting a little bit excited, gave his life away. Exile already got traded out. Now the man advantage is in the favor of Parabellum. What seemed like a misplay from Penguin ends up resulting in a kill from beyond the grave. And while this Logi hold should still be where the majority of the action happens, it might all be going the way of Parabellum too early. Spirits and Sonar landed. It's Raffi, 3-11 in a 1v4. He's trapped inside of Gym. They're all around him. Enemies at every gate. Where does he play? Where does he push? A concussion will fly inside a Logi and the site. Neither find anybody. Parabellum have likely cleared that out. They know that somebody's in Gym as 2 drones flood in. They peek the window. Spirits does the majority of damage. He gets downed, but they're barreling towards Raffi, eagerly moving forward. Raffi hasn't secured the kill. He has intel that someone's in Logi, but still 3 members, 1 from the right, 1 to the left pushing towards him. As Kool-Aid starts to land the plant, Eska's just around the corner. Raffi goes for the peek. He can't land the shots. It's a 5-2 comeback for Parabellum to end it 8-6. Where last season they lost the first game at the scoreline, they'll win their first one just the same.